Hi, everyone. Welcome to the pre-record video for the group conversation for May 23rd. I'm Sam Kerr. I'm the group product manager for the analytics stage. And today I'm joined here with James Heimbuck. We're going to be walking you through our stage direction, what we're focused on, where we're going. And we're also going to talk about each of the individual groups, what they're focused on, where they're going as well. So before we dive in, a little bit more about the vision of what our group is focused on is that we've really learned that the DevOps loop includes this piece of getting feedback from end users, understanding how they use the product to make sure that we're actually delivering the value that we expect to those users and making adjustments as necessary. The analytics stage is really focused on helping us get across this really painful gap of measuring that user value. Our stage is a part of the analytics section, which you can see here, and we're also comprised of two groups, both the analytics instrumentation group as well as the product analytics group. This quarter, we're focused on one stage level objective for our OKRs, which is enabling GitLab and our customers to understand how their apps are used and make data-driven decisions. We have three key results that will roll up into this objective, being build a strong foundation for instrumentation of customer applications, introduce an easy-to-use approach to instrumenting GitLab that gives us room to grow, and getting the product analytics offering into the beta phase for GitLab.com. Some of the different personas that our stage addresses are here. You can read more about this in the handbook page, which I encourage you to do. But primarily, we're focused on Sasha, the software developer, and Parker, the product manager. These two individuals are going to be the people that are responsible for actually instrumenting and implementing the instrumentation code in applications for features to gather and collect data to understand how end users use our products and features. And then Parker is going to be that individual product manager who is responsible for taking that data, doing analysis on it, understanding trends, and uncovering insights. Over the next year, we've got an ambitious plan, and that's going to center around bringing a GA version of product analytics to market. We've made great progress so far, and we want to complete those initial iterations and get them to a state where they can be customer facing and ready to go as part of our product. We want to be focusing on unifying our application instrumentation strategies. We'll talk about this in a little bit more detail later, but right now we have multiple ways to do the same thing. So we want to unify that and to have a single way to do the same thing. We're also really focused on dog fooding everything we're building. We've learned in the past that using what you expect a customer to use is a great way to understand those workflows better, as well as to identify pain points before end users might do that. We've already started doing this a little bit by dog fooding product analytics in the internal handbook, and we plan to do more in the future. Finally, we also plan to support the ongoing needs of GitLab and the business in understanding our own users. The analytics stage collaborates cross-functionally with a lot of different groups within the company and helping them with different projects, whether that's on getting additional data, analyzing existing data, and we plan to continue to support these efforts. Something I wanted to mention is a longer-term focus for our group is our cross-stage data vision. We have a lot more written about this in the linked direction page. I'd encourage you to go read that when you have some time. But fundamentally, what this means is that right now we have multiple ways within GitLab to gather data from how end users use our product that is sent to multiple different locations for storage. And then there's multiple different ways that it can be consumed for doing analysis and reporting. Our cross-stage data vision really centers around providing a single way to do data collection from end users, having a single place to do storage of that data, so there's always a single source of truth, and then providing the right interfaces for everyone to consume that data, whether that's going to be field staff, product teams, engineering teams, or even end customers themselves, so that everyone's going to be working off of the same sets of data and can get to the same conclusions. I also wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about how we as a stage are looking at artificial intelligence, because that's been the really popular topic lately. And the way that we're viewing analytics is that it's a feedback loop. We go from gathering data from end users, we discover insights in it, we make a change to our product or our processes as a result. AI is a great way for us to enhance this loop to make it more quick and make it more effective. We have a couple of linked issues and epics in the speaker notes I'd encourage you to check out to see some more of the specific ideas that we're thinking about how to integrate AI into our workflows. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to James Heimbach to talk about product analytics.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, folks, I'm James Heimbach, Principal Product Manager in the Product Analytics Group, as Sam said. I'm excited today to talk about the progress that we've been making so far on this brand new category and the feature set. Our team is made up of a great group of engineers, a designer, and UX counterpart. And our vision for product analytics is to make it easy for teams to understand their users and instrument their apps so that they can learn and experiment all within GitLab to achieve their goals. Our focus in the fiscal year 24 Q2 is our objective to move product analytics into the beta phase. A couple of the key results there that we're working on to accomplish this are gathering feedback from 5 or more users who are currently using the product in the experimental phase, creating a pricing proposal for general availability to share with our pricing team, and to have 5 or more customers using product analytics in the beta. I wanted to share a little bit of an update on the highlights of what we learned during the internal preview of product analytics. As Sam talked about, we've instrumented the internal handbook, and we learned quite a bit from that. So we used the built-in audience and behavior dashboards primarily to look at the data. This showed us, as expected, page views dropped off on Saturdays and Sundays, which we like, as well as some large spikes of page views on the performance indicator pages leading up to those review meetings that each section is having. That was a surprising finding. In hindsight, it made sense. On the infrastructure side, we learned quite a bit, and that influenced our switch from Jitsu to Snowplow, and we made a ton of improvements to the infrastructure stack, getting ready for us to take it to general availability. We're currently in the experimental phase, and we'll be onboarding our first external users to the platform soon. Today, those users will be able to instrument their code with our browser SDK and see the results from that instrumentation in those built-in audience behavior dashboards. We're going to be turning on the visualization designer soon for those users to better explore their data and to save visualizations for use in custom dashboards. The ability to have multiple dashboards with custom panels on it is really resonating with the field team as we have discussions to bring customers into the experiment and the few customers that we've talked to as a way so that they can see just the data that they care about on a custom dashboard. Beyond our immediate near-term roadmap, we're also looking at improving that user experience for the custom dashboard creation, ensuring pseudonymization is easy for our users, and giving them a way to bring their own event cluster if they want to run that themselves. We have several ideas for the medium and longer term as well that we'll explore with customers to ensure we're building a tool that solves their problems and adds value for users making use of other GitLab features, like feature flags or releases. We're working on a number of these alongside the instrumentation analytics or the analytics instrumentation team, like the client library for Ruby and pseudonymization. I mentioned earlier that we changed from Jitsu to Snowplow, which is used for event collection. We're using ClickHouse for event storage and Cube for data processing. And you can see this diagram in the docs for the general flow through the stack. We're excited to be using these open source technologies as they have active communities around them and are built to scale. And finally, our call to action to you today is to get involved. You can contribute by reading and sharing the blog that Sam wrote and the demo video with your network and with customers. And if you talk to a customer who's interested, please share our interest form with them. We would love to get more users into our experimental phase and onto the beta. Thanks. I'll hand it over to Tanusha.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanuja. I recently joined as a product manager in the analytics instrumentation group. Like you can see, we have a new name. We were previously called product intelligence, but we're now called analytics instrumentation. A core part of what the team is responsible is helping instrument applications to gather data, which is then passed on to different teams so that they can generate insights from it. Since we're not directly responsible for generating intelligence and insights, we thought analytics instrumentation is a better representation of what we do when compared to product intelligence. This is our team. We have Ankit, Janaz, Mikola, Miho, Nico, and Piotr, our backend engineers. Basti, the engineering manager. Lorena, a technical writer, and myself, the product manager. Our vision ties into GitLab's 3-year strategy, which is focused on customer results. As part of this vision, we would like to enable not just teams within GitLab, but also our external customers to instrument their applications and gather data, which can then help them make database decisions and eventually deliver business value. These are our objectives and key results for FY24 Q2. Our first objective is about simplifying our existing approach to instrumenting GitLab so that it gives us room to grow. And key results around that objective that we hope to achieve this quarter is deprecation of the existing system while moving to the new system. So when we say deprecation, we don't mean that the old system will be removed completely. We will still continue to have the old system, but encourage moving to the new system because of the various advantages that it would offer. I'll talk a little bit more about the new system in the coming slides. Another key result that we have is moving at least 5 events to this newer simplified internal event tracking API. The second group objective that we have is to build a strong foundation for instrumentation of our customer apps. So we would like to build at least 5 language SDKs so that customers can instrument their application irrespective of the software development language that they are using to build their own apps in. The second key result ties into what the product analytics team is doing in beta testing their application. We hope to get feedback from at least 5 external customers on instrumentation SDKs. So these are the personas we work with. Product manager personas typically know the end-to-end user journey and the key points in that journey that need to be tracked in order to measure success. So what they would need to understand is the different tracking options that are available and how to differentiate between them. Engineering persona might not necessarily be aware of the architecture behind the instrumentation. So they would need like good examples, demos, documentation, and guidelines for any upgrades and so on. A new persona that we've added is our external customers. We are working towards helping them instrument their own applications. The team structure for our external customers will be similar to what we have at GitLab. So they would have engineering personas as well as product manager personas, and our approach towards these personas will be very similar. This is one of the key projects that we're currently working on. It's called the GitLab Internal Tracking API. To give you some context, currently teams within GitLab are able to understand how users are interacting with different features by using different systems, ranging from Snowflake, Service Ping with Redis and Redis HLL, and direct database access. Now, the advantage of having these different systems is that it covers a wide range of use cases. However, the disadvantage is that there is a learning curve involved in understanding which of these systems to use for which use case. So if you go to the link highlighted here, what you'll see is how to pick the different systems depending on your use case, and looking through that helps you understand the complexity that is involved. So in order to overcome this disadvantage, what we're doing is building internal tracking API that hides the underlying complexity from the end user and provides a simple interface that end users can interact with, and while also covering a wide range of the use cases that we previously offered with the different systems. The team is also working on building a generator for the internal event tracking API. At a high level, what the generator does is taken your requirements for the event and metric that you're looking to track and automatically generate code that you can use to instrument your own features. And once you've instrumented your application, the generator also provides SQL queries to access the data that is being tracked, to help you access the data that is being tracked. It's a really great tool. The team recently user tested this document. And if you're interested, I would highly encourage you to take a look and leave us feedback for improvement. On the right, you can see what this looks like once you've entered your requirements for the event and the metric. The tool automatically generates code, and you can see that there is code available for Ruby as well as Vue, and this code is ready to be added to your feature that you're building so that you can track events and metrics. These are some of our recent wins. We automated the service ping process, which was previously manual and done once a week. So with the automation, we not just eliminated the need for manual intervention, but the new process also resulted in 40 times faster data generation. We, excuse me, we continue to improve our service ping process. We did this by simplifying the metrics setup process. We also moved from Jitsu to Snowflow and Kafka. This is after analysis and comparison of various alternatives and learning that Snowflow and Kafka was a better alternative. We also have the JavaScript browser SDK and the Ruby client-side SDK. This helps again. This is to help our customers instrument their applications irrespective of which language that they're using. We added 5 new features to the registration features program. And we also created and user tested a draft of the GitLab internal events. What's next on our roadmap? We want to continue our efforts towards GitLab internal tracking API while deprecating our existing system. Again, by deprecation, we mean that we'll continue to have the old system, but encourage movement to the newer internal tracking API. We would like to provide a wider range of language SDKs for our external customers so that they can use that to instrument their applications irrespective of the language that they use to build their applications in. We would also like to build a system that can ingest data that comes out of these SDKs and make it available, readily available for the product analytics team. That brings me to the end of the presentation for the analytics instrumentation piece. Thank you for joining. We really look forward to meeting you at the Q&A session on May 23rd. Thank you.